Today, I'm going to talk about this piece that I did for my friend's birthday. She's a Libra, and this is totally a Libra setting, isn't it? The shoreline, the meeting of the land and sea, bridging two completely different worlds. I've known several Libras, and there is a noticeable trait where, like their birth month straddles the seasons, they straddle social groups. They also tend to be heartbreaking, out-of-reach beauties, like the mist rising in the dawn. They build castles in the sand, not to build a fortress, but so they can watch the ocean dissolve their monuments, because they were never meant to last in the first place. The scene inspiring this painting is from years ago. The boy is her son. He's graduated college now and lives his own life in another state. My friend is a mother, and she's coming to a new stage in her life, a new identity. Her daughter is a high school senior, and soon my friend will be an empty nester. She's currently waiting a shoreline between worlds. I recently returned to oils. I've been painting in acrylic for the past 4 years, and it's time for me to make a shift, get out of a rut, and return to my old friends, Galkid and Gamsol. I love the way my studio smells. It's familiar and energizing to have all that oil paint rotting away. I don't like it when my paintings turn too rigid. This happens pretty often when I do a precise drawing, especially if I work in a grid system. I know that the placement of my beautiful friend's sun is inaccurate to what the photo looks like, but that doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to look at a picture in a phone, but this will be on the wall. My reality is the new reality. My layout process is to paint some general lines with thinned out oil colors. On a painting this size, I use a liner brush. For Caucasian figures, I like using alizarin crimson for the layout. For this painting, I went with raw umber. My friend's family comes from New Delhi, and I wasn't so sure that alizarin crimson would play nice with my flesh tones. I'm happy with how her skin turned out, so I think it was right to play it safe by using raw umber. Next, I do a generalized thin wash to imply where different sections of landscape reside. I don't really care about precision at this point. I do pay attention to keeping my brush strokes all going the same direction though. After that's done, I start blocking in flesh and also start working the sky. I let the oil harden up for a day or two, then return to refining of painting as a whole until the figures take their final form. You probably noticed that I don't go straight into painting black. I prefer to layer up a chromatic black rather than relying on black out of the tube. This adds more depth and nuance. I did end up needing to glaze with black out of the tube in the end because my friend's hair is such a beautiful raven color that my chromatic black method just wasn't cutting it. I guess I should give out a shout out here to my friend Pete Jordan, who taught me to avoid going straight to black, but just let it get there in a methodical chromatic glaze method. That was repetitious, methodical chromatic glaze method. Oh well, moving on. Oh, I need to tell you something. If you want to make alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, and maybe some hooker's green, get on your brush and then get on your painting, you might end up with chromatic black. Hey, let's move on. So I let this oil harden up again, and then I glaze the figures with yellow ochre and add highlights and shadows in the water. One of the hardest jobs for me as an artist is coming up with titles for my work. If you've got a title suggestion for this piece, please feel free to drop in a comment below. I'd really love to know what you think it should be. In addition to painting, I'm also a writer. So you're going to have to listen to me read a poem that I wrote for my friend for her birthday. The world is an oyster. The world is an oyster. The tide rushes past your toes and ankles. Laughter gushes from your soul. I love hearing your heart. I love your vulnerability. And I love your strength. There is a pearl formed in secret from all the dirt and hurt and grit. It's the heartache, and it's yours. The world is not your oyster, but the pearl is yours. The beauty is yours. Hey, I really appreciate you sticking around, being here for me, hearing about things that I care about, hearing about the way I paint, and you even read a poem. I mean, who does that this day and age? You were amazing. I gotta be with you. And the only way I know that we can be together is if you click the subscribe button. Okay? I can't wait to see you again.